What's the name of that map that's been in the map pool? Eternal Empire. That's
Yeah, I
the two I'm
think-
going to say.
Either way, the unfortunate truth is that Nightshade is probably going to be a part of it. We all know that that's Kuro's favorite map. So.
Yeah, you know? She loves observing in it, you know? She can be very aware on the mini-map. What map?
What map?
Belladonna.
Yeah, Belladonna.
A Belladonna, Kuro.
AKA
Just asking
Nightshade.
what we were talking about. Observer's job is to observe, not listen.
Accurate.
Yeah. And speaking of job, here we have it up. I just clicked on something by mistake. Yep, nope, there we go. In the top right-hand corner map, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Zen. LE. We're gonna have to be very zen, but I gotta tell you, Light, that's gonna be difficult. That's gonna be difficult because right now I'm fueled on Dares double espresso, with no sugar added. Ever responded to hi with good thanks. A Dare fix'll fix it. Coming to a convenience store near you, and here we have it in the top right-hand corner of the map. Starting in the top right-hand corner of the map, it is our blue Terran, the first ESL Open Cup Fuelled by Dare champion, now looking to become the first two-time champion, representing Mind Freak SC2 as well as the land of Australia. We have Seither.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Zen LE, we have last week's champion, the Australian Protoss, representing Legacy Esports. It is Probe.
Interesting location for a pylon probe. He is blocking off his main, but over up in the location of Seither. Near Seither's main, I should say. It's quite a bit far back from the wall, so we know it's definitely not going to be a cannon rush.
Stargate?
We'll have to see what it's... I feel like it's going to have to be when it's this location.
Yeah. I mean, it is a pretty good location to go straight into the main base with a flying unit. So it could be a Stargate, could maybe Robo for like a
Robo,
prison,
yeah.
maybe.
Might be a Robo, but I don't think it will be.
Yeah, we'll
I think
see.
if it was going to be a Robo, it will be even a lot closer.
Yeah, probably. I do quite like... Oh, that we have it. As we were saying, a Stargate is on the way, which, you know, makes the most sense. He wants pylons and he can see that something is amiss in the main base. However, as he did go for an SCV scout.
Probe has gone for an expansion. So
he
has might be. I don't know. Seither
like,
is still being diligent.
I mean,
though. He's still...
exactly. Like it's odd to see only one pylon in. So we do have this SCV trying to look for where that proxy is, and it does seem like he will eventually spot it.
Map. There's a probe in location.
Oh, there it is.
It's pretending, like it's pretending.
Do you think
but
it's a fake
Seither ain't buying it.
He doesn't fall for it. He continues and spot it eventually, but it does seem like the Oracle is on the way already. He does spot it. He does confirm.
And there's that Cyclone. It wasn't really a response to the Stargate. It was more of a response to just knowing that there's a proxy somewhere out there.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what you want versus a Stargate proxy or a Stargate opening in general.
Yeah, and Seither doubling down. He does have a Cyclone and a Viking on the way. So that's like perfect for defense against, you know, any Stargate unit really. And the SCV going in for another scout. There's nothing to stop him. He's gonna be able to see everything he needs to see. Amazing. Which is nothing really. Like, which is also important, right? Like, there's no tech, no fault.
That is.
See, the Oracle can do anything.
So you have to determine whether or not you want to continue with the path you've got or not. Seither decides to. Gets a good little revelation there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nicely done. Again, like, because of Seither's position, it's difficult to find much damage for the Oracle. So nice revelation there. Get some scouting, some vision. Meanwhile, Probe, he is committing to this Stargate tech, which Seither should realize because he went in for the scout to see what else was coming out from Probe, sees nothing, so he should assume that more Stargate units are being produced. We will see though, as you know, we do have Marines on the way, we have tanks as well, Marine tank.
We will see Seither.
Huh?
Eh?
Huh?
Eh?
That was awful. God damn it.
Good little reveal once again on the side of Probe. He is just looking to play it a lot more conservatively now. Going to be building up to more of a mid-game push as the Twilight Council and the Forge has gone down. I do like that he doesn't seem to have really invested too much into a mass Phoenix style, but as I say that, he is continuing to pump up Phoenixes.
Yeah, he is continuing to pump out more and more Phoenixes, which, you know, Phoenixes can be pretty good, not just for harass, but in main fights to be able to CC and pick up tanks as well. They can be so useful at just trying to control the tempo of fights. But yeah, we do have Zealot legs on the way of all things, which, you know, they can also do well against Biotank.
Yeah, especially if you are able to crowd control a couple of the tanks, or maybe even just crowd control the Cyclone with a lift and just allow the charges to wreak havoc on the tanks.
Yeah.
But for now, it's gonna slow down. But Seither is gonna go mech.
Yeah, okay, interesting. We do have mech, and it does immediately get flooded, right? The revelations.
You know, that's not a bad response to seeing Phoenixes out. If Seither does already have Maglev, so if he just continues on to pump out Cyclones, maybe switch it into a Cyclone Hellion Mine type of style. It's definitely one way to counter Phoenix Chargelet.
Yeah, definitely. I do quite like this style as well. Against these Phoenixes, we will be seeing a lot of Cyclones out on the map. And yeah, we'll see how Probe responds to this. As we did have a Twilight Council on the way, which there it is on the way. So I imagine we're going to be seeing Archons, maybe Storm.
I feel like High Templar are just going to be way too fragile, especially when there are this many tanks out from Seither. Archons, they can take quite a number of hits, whereas High Templar, fun fact, Storm has a slightly shorter cast range compared to tanks when they're sieged.
Yeah.
But again, it also does depend quite a bit on Seither being quick to target fire.
That it does, and it does look like Probe is getting ready to, I was going to say to harass, but fire.
This looks like a push, or not quite a game-ending push, but definitely a damage-dealing push.
Yeah, and I feel like Seither, he doesn't quite have enough here because these charge right into all of those. These Marines aren't really going to do to stop that from happening. There are Cyclones on the way, but are they in the?
And I'm actually,
or is this it?
I think they are in the main. I think this is. I actually don't know what I would prefer right now for Probe, if he were to just charge the tanks in, or if he were to lift a couple of them. I think the best of both worlds would be to lift 2 or 3 and then just let the charges take care of the rest.
Exactly. The world is his oyster and he's pushing in.
But the turrets are doing pretty well against the Phoenixes. And the Phoenixes have been taken out by the Marines behind us, but there's just not an answer right now to the Archons and to the charges. GG is called, and Probe takes game number 1 very, very quickly.
Yeah, GG. Like Seither, he just wasn't ready for it. Waiting in his main base. The other half was outside third, but the tanks were just so exposed. The Zealots just ran in, killed the majority of them. The ones that were left, were picked up by Phoenixes as well. It just didn't go Seither's way. I guess he just didn't read the situation that was happening before him, that this big 2-base push was coming out from Probe. And GG. Probe takes game number 1 of all things, the proxy Stargate.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising to see.
Yeah. I mean, like, as in the proxy Stargate didn't really, like, the proxy itself didn't do much, you know, the Oracle didn't really do much at all. But in the end, Probe was able to utilize his opener and come out with a win.
That was definitely what happened.
That is definitely what happened as we get set up for game number 2 in this best of 5. We'll be on Everdream LE, which is the most standard of the newer maps.
It is. In terms of the layout, it is the most standard, but the rush distance, man, that's something that you can't overlook.
Yeah, we'll see if this time Seither decides to do something like to try and utilize that to his advantage. As we load in.
Game number 2 on Everdream. And speaking of Everdream, like, have you ever had a dream that Dare
yes.
was the highest grossing iced coffee, whatchamacallit, and available worldwide to everyone, everywhere?
That's not true.
No, I'm saying, have you had that dream?
Oh, have I had that dream?
Well, unfortunately,
yes, like that is the dream. That's what everyone wants, really.
Unfortunately, that dream, not quite being able to make it. But Light, I gotta ask you one more time: have you ever had a dream that would be a sparkling citrus cold brew coffee?
That sounds like an abomination.
Well, the dreams can come true, as that's what Dare has created. But speaking of dreams, here we have it. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, starting in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, looking to make his dream of first two-time ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare champion. Can he do it? He is representing Mind Freaks as well as Australia. Everybody give it up for Seither. Being very sneaky.
Yeah, being very sneaky here, kind of misleading or trying to mislead this Australian Protoss as he spawns into the top right-hand corner of Everdream LE. It is Probe. Who is currently trying to scout digitally with that probe in the main base of Seither. As you know, he's making his rounds. He's trying to figure out where that proxy is, or that Rax, I should say, as he does get locked into the main base. So again, like, he doesn't know if the Rax is out on the map or if it's hidden at the natural, as it currently is. And yeah, right now he even has a second probe out on the map, trying to scout, trying to figure out where it is. He's being deceived a little bit.
He needs to know. He needs to know, because right now he knows that Seither is getting a factory. It indicates that if there was a proxy, it's going to be Marines, because obviously because of the gas count.
Yeah.
And Marines hit much faster than anything else. So Probe, he's looking for that proxy that doesn't exist.
Yeah, he's got units out on the map trying to look for it. The Zealot is almost at the third base of Seither as well. We do have a Stalker out. So this Zealot will be here to apply some pressure, and Seither doesn't have much at all, so this natural could be delayed.
That is the price you pay for being a little sneaky.
Yeah, Probe called his bluff. He sent the Zealot all the way across. Widowmine is the natural will be delayed because of it. May even be like cancelled because of all this damage. Oh my god, he's pulling the boys.
Why? Why, Seither? Okay, he is just trying to play it smart, try to act for zoning. He desperately needs this natural to go down. Because otherwise he's going to be insanely behind.
Yeah, he has to be so careful about the friendly fire with these Widowmines.
Alright, gets to surround one of the Zealots and manages to clear up the Stalker. So overall, a little bit of a panicked response, but overall, did do its job.
Yeah, it was necessary because of the opening that Seither things which can be avoided by units. So Probe, if the worst case scenario, Probe, he ends up cancelling that natural. Seither does end up saving it in the end, but it did cost him quite a lot of lost mining time.
That it did. Mining time that Probe has made up for by already getting his naturals starting to saturated and going into a Robo Bay.
Oh.
Dude, is he gonna pull his zest? Is he gonna pull his zest?
It could. So because it's a PvT, it could be Colossus or it could be Disruptor. Could be either one. Whatever it is, it's going in that War Prism.
And it is gonna get damage. Alright, War Prism speed being researched right now.
I feel like that's a tell that it's... Is it Disruptor? Is it?
No, because here's the thing. You're going for
There it
Colossus.
is.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Alright, so it is gonna be Disruptors. We did see Probe go for Disruptors in the end. Here's my rationale, right, for
Oh, the Widow drop!
Colossus.
In the main!
Does not get anything. He gets one probe.
Wow,
And it gets a
one
good scout.
probe.
So Seither should be looking to defend right now. Or maybe not. He might just think that it's quick Colossus.
It's possible. I mean, the robotics bay is researching, so he could. He could assume that it's thermal lens of all things. But again, it isn't quite clear to him whether it's Colossus or Disruptor. But we'll see how he can defend, if at all. that poor medevac.
It looks like it's trying to fly into the mountain.
Yeah, it's like trying to end its life, but not quite.
Me. I can go. I can. Yeah, not quite.
The War Prism is here.
Oh, but
Disruptor goes down! Oh, it goes down!
Sniped. And only 2 SCVs have been taken out. Fantastic defense from Seither. About as clean. Well, yeah, about as clean as it could have done. You know, maybe if he didn't lose 2 SCVs, it could have been cleaner, but who knows?
But really, what's 2 SCVs to a Disruptor, you know, like
Exactly.
really well played there by Seither. And again, he does escape. the medevac did turn away from that map.
It was all coming together.
Nice. So he does save those 2 Widow Mines, which is pretty huge. Again, it was really unfortunate that those 2 Widow Mines, he didn't even kill the minimum of 2 probes, as one of them did go into the gas at that like opportune moment, and the Widow Mine just didn't get anything at all. Yeah,
but at least he was able to do the primary goal of scouting. We do see that Probe has transitioned into somewhat of a quick Colossus. I wouldn't say it's too quick, but it's definitely before a standard time.
Oh,
What am I talking about? No, 1 Colossus at around this time is standard.
Yeah, and it did seem that the medevac did get taken out by those stalkers. We do have Zealot legs on the way.
You have Zealot legs on the way, but Seither does eventually confirm that Probe isn't going full Buffalo. He is going more into. He is transitioning into Colossus.
That he is, and we'll see what Probe can do with this War Prism as more Zealot, more trying to find an angle into the main base. But the Raven, though, can interference matrix it. Oh, you see,
but the
misses
Raven
it,
wasn't in
though.
position. He does miss it. And these Zealots are going to wreak havoc. The Marines are in a pretty good location here, considering your choke point, but I think these Zealots are just way too tanky right now, even being forced to pull the boys, and they have the Zealots in the main still here.
Yeah, they're still going. Jesus Christ, 9 workers do go down in the end. 10 is, and they're still alive. Meanwhile, the 3rd base is being hit by more Zealots. Oh, dangerously low, but does escape in the end.
12 SCVs, though.
Yeah, that's
12 SCVs. Seither was already behind, and now that's an ow oof owie if I've ever seen one. Probe, he's just putting in the finishing touches into his army. His thermal lance, his extra Colossus, his +1 armor.
Yeah, he's even working on his Templar archives. That will.
Oh, but Caesar's gonna be the first to take the initiative.
And I think he needs to. He needs to do something with this push. It's unfortunate because it does seem like Probe will be harassing with Zealots, so it could force them all in.
That he can. There are 2 interference matrices available right now for Seither, and that's about all he needs for the moment. Does have to be so careful though, Seither, or Probe rather. Look at this around.
Yeah,
don't use your interference matrix. That's a very explosive Colossus. Can it get sniped immediately? And I like that Seither did save his Raven energy there.
Yeah, and he pulled some boys as well. But they do get zoned out by the bunkers are being made here around.
And this is This is
It's
it.
all in.
Seither needs to go all in. He needs to do a base trade. Otherwise, Seither is dead.
Yeah, he needs to like. He needs to execute.
Oh, quit hop pickup. Nicely done from our Australian Terror player. That's how many workers are left? 15, and majority of them aren't even mining.
I'm just worried because Probe is buying so much time. Seither is giving him so much time since Seither has just been sitting here in between.
Yeah, I think
he hasn't really gone for any of them yet.
I think Seither is banking on trying to bait Probe into his defensive position, but as you see,
Probe doesn't need to.
Probe doesn't take the bait. He doesn't need to. Yeah, exactly.
He's just chilling. He's just stepping back. You know, he's like, you know what? You take that. Just smack. Seither, he has to be so
careful. Eyes on you when you try to go up onto the ramp. I'm gonna come in for the flank.
Yeah, Seither. It does seem like he is trying to edge his way into the main.
I highly doubt it's gonna be enough. Probe is now getting a 4th as his 3rd. Just is still
he's gonna slide the disruptor.
And he does. But he's careful not to overextend. These medevacs are so low on energy. It's one Marauder versus. It's one Marauder versus a 4th base. Let's go.
It is. Mate, he's got a dream on Everdream LE. Meanwhile, Seither, he's trying to push into the main base. The Marauder goes down.
And Seither's trying to push in, but with Thermal Lance and the Archons.
From the back as well.
Coming in from the back, and Interference Matrix does help, but it's nowhere near enough. GG is called, and Probe already on match point.
Yeah, and there we have it, where Probe, he had units in position to jump in, and at that moment, he was, as we were saying, Seither was forced into an all-in position. He couldn't defend his bases at home. And he just, like, Probe just had as much time as he needed to work on his army, as Seither was just, like, containing him, sieging him outside his base. And in the end, he had enough to hold. GG is called, and he's up 2-0 already.
Yeah, not much of a contain when your opponent is getting a 4th, but...
Yeah.
Seither had to do something, and I think that was maybe his only shot.
You could argue that maybe I'm not too sure how many medevacs he had, but maybe like a main instead, something along those lines. I'm not too sure.
I think once the base trade started, Seither kind of knew I need to be careful because my army at the moment is better than Probe's, but if I overextend even for just a second, I can lose it.
He was trying to play it very carefully, but like a byproduct of that is giving Probe as much time as he needs. And you could also argue that Seither was waiting for Probe to make a mistake. He was waiting for Probe to push into his army, into his sieged up position, which would be the ideal situation for Seither. But Probe, he didn't take it, right? He just kind of stepped back.
That he did not. But speaking of stepping back, here we have it in what could possibly be the final map of the series. Here we have it in the left-hand corner map, spawning in the left-hand corner of Golden Wall LE. He was, I'm not sure if you call him the favorite, but he was definitely a something. He was the first ever champion of ESL Open Cup Fuelled by Dare, and now if he wants to become the first 2-time champion, he's gonna have to pull off a miracle and make that reverse sweep. Can he do it? That's what we're gonna find out. He is representing Mind Freak as well as Australia. It is Seither.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Golden Wall LE, we have the Australian Protoss representing Legacy Esports. It is Probe. Also, am I cutting out a lot?
It's better than an hour ago, but it happens.
Okay. God damn
it still happens. Australian internet, man.
Yeah.
You know how the saying goes, but for those uninitiated, it drops like drop bears.
That it does.
And for the time being, speaking of drop bears, dropping SEC. Yeah? Yeah?
Huh?
But we are, we're just gonna have to see how this plays out. Both players are playing it pretty careful, you know. Probe doesn't want to risk too much here. It is the ace match, and Seither, he knows his life is on the line. His tournament life is on the line here. So he's not gonna go for any proxies. Not that he did go for any proxies today, but still. Anyway, it's gonna be going down now. Just 1-1-1 coming out from Seither, and Twilight Council is coming out for Probe. And that's interesting. That is pretty interesting. We should see a Robo facility at some point after this, but it might not be. It could just be looking to be glaive to depths for Probe. There's that Robo facility. And we'll have to see what comes out from that. Blink is always an option. Yeah, Blink is always an option, whether you get a Warp Prism or a Observer. But, you know, there's always Charge, there's always Glaive to Depths.
Yeah, meanwhile, Seither, he is going for his 1-1-1. Does seem like similarly to... Probe.
Alright, everything we said, throw it out the window. Because Probe, he's being a little cheeky here. He may as well. He is up 2-0. May as well.
He may as well. Yeah, we do have a Dark Shrine on the way. We do have a War going for more of like a PvZ-esque DT drop into potentially Archon as well, depending on how it works out. And meanwhile, Seither, he is going for a Widowmine drop, as he did in the game number 2. But that's the problem there, right? Like, he will be across the map with this. It won't be here at home for defense.
Which is a little bit excessive, but if he can actually get damage with this, yeah, it will be huge. Probe, it's going to be up to his reaction time for pulling probes. Do they see each other? Do they see each other? They do not. And this is deadly. I'm just watching. I gotta tell you, Light, I'm just watching the production tab right now, looking for an engineering bay. Alright, a couple of DTs already being warped. The mines are in. And Seither's not just looking to expose himself too quickly. Oh, wait, where's that third Widow mine? Okay, did get quite a bit of damage. 6 probes done. And now
but the DTs are in.
DTs, but is it too late? Yeah, that's the question. It might be too late right now. How much energy does Seither really have in DCCs? Not enough is the answer to that question. And the reigning champion defends his title. There you have it, our very first ESL Open Cup Fueled by Dare 2-time champion.
Yeah, GG. You know, this time 3-0 Seither, and he looked pretty dominant. You know, in that series. Seither, he definitely had a couple too, but especially in that last one, like the DT just completely caught him off guard.
It definitely did, and it was kind of like watching a house on fire somewhat. You kind of knew that the writing was on the wall, but you always held out hope. You know, I was staring at the production tab and it was like, Seither, eBay, man, get an eBay. And then when he wasn't getting one, you thought, okay, just how much energy do you have on your CCs right now, on your orbital commands? And not that much. Okay, but you know, if we play this out well, you know, if you know, try to micro and buy some time, but in the end, Seither deciding it wasn't going to happen. It couldn't happen, but yeah, GG to both players, I would say there. Seither definitely putting up a hell of a performance, especially in the semifinals, I would say. It was very exciting to see Demi versus Seither.
Yeah, that was definitely, like, the semifinals were definitely really close. I will say probably the standout performance was Chase. For those of you who weren't here, Chase just he defied all expectations and even took Probe to the ace match after taking down Azure. Like, it was insane.
It was. And just trying to think what else we can really add to that at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
Dare, the refreshing taste.
other than Dare, and shout out to Yaku, as well, for plugging a sponsor that isn't even available in his. For those who don't know, Dare is unfortunately only available in Australia. So if you are in Australia and if you do want to support them who support StarCraft, then do get some Dare, maybe even tweet about it, be active on social media. Yeah, shout out to Dare, as well as for ESL for sponsoring this event and making it happen.
And for Warcraft 3.
And for Warcraft 3, yeah. But with that, again, congratulations to Probe for winning 2 ESL Cups, 2 in a row, actually, which is quite a feat. And yeah, I guess, where can we find more of you? Who are you?
Who am I? That's a great question of the day. But twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1, twitter.com @Empora Yakuzaku, ! Discord and chat to bring you to our Discord server, which is probably the best chance you have of finding me. And buy my shirts.
Buy his shirts. Doesn't have any. He has a couple left.
I'm just always shirtless.
Exactly. Meanwhile, you can find me again for cutting out throughout the broadcast. Typically, I'm fine, as I do cast other events, but unfortunately for these events, I do use Wi-Fi as opposed to being connected directly to the router, which affects all of this. Yeah, I'll try and work on that. We'll see. But yeah, you can follow me on light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I normally cast events here on CranKy Ducklings. I also admin and run a bunch of other events as well. So yeah, follow the channel CranKy Ducklings if you want to support the scene, whether it's Southeast Asia, Oceania, the North American and Latin American scene as well. We do organize, or we do cast a lot of those events as well. And let's not forget, shout out to Kuro, aka 16th Squad Senseki, for handling the production as well as observing.
She's also known as Group, Hero of the Wasteland, and Savior of Esports.
Yeah, and I think that's all for us for today. Hopefully, we have submitted a bunch of new overlays as well as casting tool for our intros. Hopefully, they do get approved for next. Unfortunately, because of Easter, it was delayed. Otherwise, we. And yeah, I believe that's it for us for today.
Yeah, we'll pretty soon we're gonna have the schedule up on screen, and we'll see you then.